Hello everyone. Today I have met with Otavio Santana.
Yes, you did it correctly. Hello,
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Baslo. Hello, everybody. How's it going?
So this is the first time we met in person.
In person?
Yeah,
Yes.
we have been we know each other for like many years through the virtual world like Twitter and other medium, but we have been talking. But this is the first time, so we met together. That's so exciting. I'm really enjoying your
Yeah.
company, and we have been talking a lot of things together. So I thought today I'm gonna ask him a few questions so that it is beneficial for all of you. So the first question I'm going to be asking is, you are a distinguished software engineer, right? So how about you tell us a little bit your career path, how you become a distinguished software engineer?
Wow, that's a tough question. Especially because if you look to the staff engineer path, right? If you look in the book by Will Larson, the staff engineer is a person who impacts the whole organization through technology. Right now, it's impossible to think about a company or even a business if without technology. Technology is what matters to us. Any situation and in humankind kind of thing. To me, how can I become? It was especially thank you for the open source. Why? Open source helped me to improve my communication skill because I needed to do a presentation, I need to express my thoughts, I need to introduce some APIs, ideas, I need to design some codes, and I need to do that with Red Hat, with IBM, and the biggest companies around the globe. So the open source helped me to go to see beyond the code, to see code as strategy, especially because everything is around communication to handle that. And beside the soft skill of communication, we also need to handle with the technical perspective. I was able to review or receive review from several companies, organizations, to receive several thoughts of several cultures organization. And based on several cultures, I was able to create mine. So my culture is based on several engineers around the globe. I was able to learn the best strategies in the code and do a simplicity in the code thanks mainly to a lot around the people who reviewed my code and the people that I reviewed the code around the globe. I'm not only in the company side, I'm across the globe. And that's the main idea of the distinguished engineer. Is a person who impacts the organization, but he already impacts the whole world with technology. I'm able to remember on my mind a couple of samples of the distinguished engineer besides me. James Gosling. He is the distinguished engineer at Amazon, and he is father of Java. He impacted the whole world with open source, and because of that, he was able to become a distinguished engineer. Emmanuel Bernard, who was the co-creator of Quarkus as well. Um, that is the creator of Python, who the name that I forget right now, and he is the distinguished engineer. The point of the distinguished engineer is to be both a good technical person with a deep skill, but also able to communicate, to have more transparency in your decisions, to make your idea more scalable. Especially because company who has distinguished engineer are company that has more than 2,000 people or even 1,000 people. So it's impossible to make one person to impact the organization alone, right? And that's the main goal. So go through the open source. We are able to learn how to share knowledge, to go deep in technology, to improve yourself in code design, communication, to write better, especially because documentation better matters to us, tests, and so on.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you pointed rightly. I mean, end of the day, software engineering is a communication problem, right? We are solving
Yes.
communication problems. So it's not just technical depth. You need to be skilled in communication as well. And open source allowed you to do that, and that in fact helped you to excel your career. And you were also a spec lead, right?
Yes.
So tell us about that. How did you get involved with the specifications and how
Okay.
you know how much you contributed?
I spent too much time in the open source around. I mean, I enjoy the open source. I'm thinking to the open source words. Of course, before I become a spec lead of several specifications, around the Java world, I was reviewer. I was just a committer because I was able to learn. As spec lead, the challenge is a little bit different because I need to put my ideas, I need to merge ideas from several companies, several organizations, several engineers, communities as well, in one single way. It's tough, right? Because my impact should impact the whole organization, the whole world, and it unify or merge ideas of the whole world as well. So it's a mix between a communication hard skill. So if you go to the open source world, you are able to become a staff engineer on your free time. You're able to practice to become a staff engineer on that way because I need to write documentation, I need to do presentation about the idea of the product, I need to find people to use, to put that in production, to receive feedbacks. So basically you're able to see the whole life cycle of a product that might impact the whole world.
That's great. So the next, I mean, it's wonderful that you have accomplished so much. So what I'm going to ask you next is, I mean, let's say a beginner software engineer, he has like a couple of years of experience. He also wants to be a committer and someday like a spec lead like you. So what would be the starting point? I mean, how can someone become a committer to a particular, open source software?
Okay, it's a good question. The first step is find a product that you want to learn. I mean, learn deeply. Why? Because usually open source technology has a unique goal to convert what's complex in something simpler, right? We did that with JVM. Right now, nobody cares about garbage collector, but it's there. It's important to have there. Nobody cares about connection pool, but the connection pool is there. So we need to know deeply about software computer science. We need to learn more about the approach, the concepts. What did the practice do? They left reflection some reason. Why? You need to understand that. What the trade-off you use reflection or go through the Quacos way to do the metadata on the build time. Concepts, trade-offs. Go deep on that. So learn because, okay, I want to learn. You're able to see there are several minimum requirements to go deep on one technology. So I want to contribute in an open source database, more details, how it's worked, algorithm, something like that. After that, do what nobody wants to do. Documentations, tests. So we start to read the documentation. Even if you don't contribute on the product, you might have the view deeper than the average of an engineer because usually you don't go to the documentation. You're gonna read the product from the engineer's mind. Okay? Blogs are good. Blogs are important. Yes, they are. However, be closer to the engineer's mind or maybe be one of those is important to you to apply better to your job. Also, you're gonna receive more credibility about one technology, right? If you do open source, you're gonna receive that on medium learn time. So, learn the principles, join email list, start doing what nobody wants to do. Documentation, tests. To do that, read documentation, understand what's going on, introduce yourself in the mail list or the Slack channel, something like that. Help with review, do the questions, and move forward. You're gonna see the results a medium term. Like, okay, Otavio, I need to choose between you, who has 10 certificates, or another one who is contributor of the product that my company is using. Which one should you choose, right? The person who built the product or the person who learned how to use.
So if I summarize that, I mean, if someone wants to be a committer, first thing is he has to, understand the product, first, and then start from the documentation. I mean, the things that not everyone wants to do. So one step is get a deep understanding of that product, and then start documentation and start talking, join the mailing list, and start the conversation. And then
Yes.
perhaps if there is a new ideas you can implement, you can start contributing to that as well as keep committing. Perhaps one day some of your commits will be approved, and then you will become a committer. That's great.
Yes, and you're gonna learn a lot of stuff doing that. I mean, I remember the first time that I went to the OpenJDK mail list. My English was terrible. I was able to say one single word or single sentence if without the Google Translator. And because I went to contribute on OpenJDK, I had as minimum requirement the language. So I need to learn English to go deep and contribute more. And I want to express my ideas. What did I need to do? I start to communicate doing presentations. Oh hey Otavio, but I'm an engineer. I don't care to speak to the public, but we will. You need to talk with your boss. You need to talk with the directors. You need to talk with users. There is no way to skip about the communication. Software is one thing that we do for people, with people. So that's
Right.
why amazing the open source world is.
All right. I mean, all of these things contributed to your amazing career. And if you guys, if you want to build an amazing career like him, these are the steps you should take. So you are also a Java champion, right? So
Yes.
the title, I mean, every developer wants to get this crown, but not everyone can gets it. So the question is this title, I mean, the Java championship, did it help to advance your career as well?
Like any title, is a kind of exclusivity, right? I mean, I have what nobody wants. Right now we have like 300 Java champions around the globe. A lot of people retired. I mean, Java has 25 years, more than 25 years old. And yes, it's amazing to your career to say, hey, I'm Java champion, or I received that award, or I do what maybe is more exclusive to me, right? I know one different language, I get a different certificate. So everything that increases you in your technical skill is important. And being a Java champion is not just the technical part, it's a networking.
Definitely.
Especially because we'll be there with people around the globe. It's impossible to think about technology that impacts the whole world if you don't think about Java. So you'll be in the room with 300 people who impact the world somehow. So we have Jamie Gosling, the father of Java. We have people from Netflix, people from Spring, people from Jakarta EE, people from Quarkus, and so on. So we're able to talk about it, invite people to do presentation on your company, right? That's amazing. And to learn from that people. I mean, have a bar conversation, do this kind of thing.
All right, that's great. So I'm gonna ask you the final questions. I mean, we've been talking for a while, but yeah, I'm hopefully all this information that we received from Otavio, it was really beneficial for all of you, and try to what do you say, incorporate some of those or all of those, and it will definitely have an amazing career. So you are in a conference. We are all in a conference. It's Devoxx Morocco, and Morocco is like a wonderful country. It's a sea beach and the hotel and everything. It's the weather, everything is amazing. I mean, you are in conference. So the question is, a lot of people don't realize the benefits of going to the conference, attending to the conference. It's also speaking. You are a speaker, wonderful speaker. How about you tell us, our audience, what are some benefits of speaking?
We are living in the technology world, need to be updated, right? So here's an amazing opportunity to learn and connect people. Hey Otavio, but we have several contents on YouTube. But are you able to do a specific question of your job in YouTube? Perhaps yes, perhaps not. So when you go to conference like that, you're going to learn two things. One thing is a technical skill that you're able to learn, some success case. And also the network, you're able to talk with the speaker, share ideas, do your specific question. Maybe you're not able to do it publicly because you're in a company, so you have an issue, you're not able to show the code. But you're able to stay here with several commuters and ask questions about the product that you are using and the people are creating. So you're able to talk with the commuter of Quarkus about Quarkus, the commuter of Jakarta EE with the Jakarta EE issue, or give ideas or give thoughts. Maybe your thought will become a new feature in the future, or you're able to join. So being a company, the conference like this is an amazing opportunity to increase the both sides, the technical, the communication, and when we talk about communication, talk also about networking.
That's great. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, uh, it's give you an exclusive access to the person who probably you saw in YouTube or in a book, in a cover of the book page or in a documentation or somewhere. But it's difficult to reach them directly, right? I mean,
Yeah.
everyone is busy, and in the conference you get pretty much exclusive access to that person, and you can ask pretty much any questions and get a direct response. That's amazing. So thank you, Otavio, for your time and wonderful. I really enjoyed the conversation we just had, and I'm sure my audience who are watching, all of you will get greatly benefited from this conversation. So thank you. Signing off from the Morocco.